Hey guys, welcome back to my little notebook hands series. I don't even know what to call this yet. I am starting this series as a way to talk about things that I am passionate about, things that are important to me, not necessarily having to do with animation, but just things that I find interesting. And I will find a way to implement this character into all of it. And let's be honest, drawing in a notebook takes way less time than making a full-on animated short film like I do on all my shorts. So this is gonna be kind of a weird new experiment that I do. Honestly, this is just for fun. If this resonates, then keep watching. Today we're gonna talk about Manifestation 101. And no, it's not some magical, mystical thing. There's actually a lot of science behind it. I think they proved in quantum physics as well. We will just sort of get into the basics of manifestation and what it actually means to manifest something or make something manifest, right? So in life and in our heads, we have thousands of thoughts every single day. Sometimes they're subconscious thoughts, right? And those are kind of going on in the back. Subconscious thoughts, ideas that you have about yourself, about the way the world treats you, patterns and trends in your life. But you have thousands of these thoughts per day, and it's just not possible to comprehend all of them. Like if you wrote down every single thought that you had every single day, that would probably be very overwhelming, right? There's too many thoughts. Our guy is all upset now because there's too many thoughts. And he's like, oh my God, what am I gonna do with all these thoughts? Why can't I hold all these limes? Let me know if you got that reference, right? This is ridiculous. So we have all these thoughts. Quantum physics proves that whatever you think, you put that out into the world, whether you're conscious of it or not, and then in turn, they are brought back to you through the outside world. Like whatever energy you put out into the world will be returned back to you, right? Whether conscious or unconscious. If you have a dominant story about yourself, my little guy's thinking now consciously about himself or herself, whatever. You know, how you experience things in the workplace, friendships, whatever. Things in your life, you know, your relationship with your family, whatever, friends, all that stuff. It's always going to be proven to you time and time again through the things that you say and the things that you think and the things that you believe about yourself. So if you're saying to yourself, you know, like Bobby from high school really hates me. Maybe Bobby has some mean eyebrows, right? Bobby from high school hates me. Oh my God, my handwriting's so bad right now, but of course, if I'm saying my handwriting sucks right now, it's gonna keep sucking, right? There's Bobby. And then, you know, the next time you see Bobby at school, if you keep thinking that thought that Bobby hates you, here's my sad little Java guy. Now there's Bobby with his mean eyebrows. Probably says something you don't like. He says some stuff, and then it makes you sad, and then it reinforces the thought about Bobby in the first place. You're basically getting proven the things that you think and the things that you say without even realizing it. And then you're like, I knew it. I knew he hated me. This is what's happening. Blah, blah, blah. Bobby hates me, right? And it's not always so specific. The things that you're creating unconsciously or consciously, if you are thinking it, it is true right now. So another core lesson of manifestation, there is only ever now. There's only now. And now it's really simple because if you're watching this video, you are watching it right now. If you're watching this video, I am talking to you right now. There is only ever now. If you are thinking of something from the past, you know, like let's say you found a flower in the street. If you are thinking about that flower, you're actually with that flower right now. If you are thinking of a conversation you had with a friend of yours about, you know, mangoes. There's your friend. I don't know how to draw a mango, just a weird fruit thing, right? If you are thinking about that exact conversation, you're bringing that into your now moment. So anything that you're imagining or thinking about, it is happening right now, whether you like it or not. So in any now moment, you can choose to be thinking about anything, about mangoes, about flowers, about anything. When you're in your actual present moment, like let's say let's say I'm animating, right? When you get into, you know, you're really in the flow, right? You're drawing and things are good and, you know, you're in your work mode. You're not thinking about anything else. You're really in the now. If there's not a single thought in your head other than what you're doing, you are truly living in the present moment. You are in that state of in that state of like true nowness, I guess. I don't know if nowness is even a word, but if you're in the flow, you're in like that flow state and nothing else outside of you really matters. That's you, that's like your true essence. I'm gonna talk about the mangoes some more. I don't even know if I like mangoes. I think I do. Let's say you're thinking about that conversation with, you know, the mango friend. You were talking about mangoes. And then you recall that conversation a bit later on. And you're like, I think I want some mangoes. And then you don't think about it again. And then randomly some guy on the street randomly has a fruit stand and he's selling mangoes. Then you want to buy a mango and then you eat a mango. Not saying every interaction in your life is like this, but if you notice that you're thinking something, someone mentions a specific kind of car that you've never heard of before. One of those Jeep Wranglers. I'm not a car artist, a cartist. Someone mentions a Jeep Wrangler, suddenly you're gonna see them everywhere. You're gonna start seeing them all over the place. These are my really poorly drawn cars. Once it's in your awareness, you're going to start seeing them all over the place. What you place your awareness on, whether seen or unseen, if you see it with your eyeballs or if you see it with your mind, you are putting that out there. It is your awareness being put out, and then it will be reflected back to you in some way. So it's really this like circle of life. What you're thinking about gets projected outwards. And I also see it this way. So we have our guy or girl or whatever. It is you projecting things outwards. That is what you see out here in the world. I forgot his arms again. What am I doing? I'm not going to forget his arms anymore. But that is being projected outwards. That becomes what you see with your eyeballs. Project outwards through the things that you think that you're thinking about and the things that you're observing, whether you see them with your eyeballs or your imagination, and then that gets turned into, you know, the world outside of you, and then that gets thrown back at you. Do you ever notice that you're on your phone, right? And then you think of someone that you haven't thought of in a really long time. This could be a colleague, this could be a friend, whatever, and you're like, I wonder how so-and-so is doing. I'm gonna give him a hat to differentiate him. But Mr. So-and-so, let's call him Sam. How's Sam doing? And then you forget about it. And then you go about your day. And then, all of a sudden, you get a message from Sam. Yo, what's up? How you been, brother? I don't think I've ever called anybody brother before. It's Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam received your whatever. You randomly thought of him for a split second, then he messaged you, right? So I don't think those are coincidences. You unconsciously or consciously thought of this person, Mr. Sam with the baseball cap, and then he received that thought in his mind and thought, I'm gonna text my friend on my phone and he's gonna send you a message. Our thoughts shape things outwardly. Even the innocent ones about mangoes, about text messages, what time you wanna go to sleep at night. Everything that you think, conscious or unconscious, that is going out into the universe. In manifestation, all manifestation is choosing what to consciously focus on. So if you're innocently thinking all these things about mangoes and text messages from long lost friends, you can consciously decide, I want this amazing career. Think about what your goals are. Career, friends, family, whatever it is. I can't even spell family, wow. Family, projects, money. You can make decisions using your mind on what you want to make manifest. I'm going to talk about, in my case, I didn't even know this was manifestation, but I was at the beach a few years ago. And actually, I just found this notebook. But I went to the beach a few years ago. I went to Malibu Canyon, or I think it was Malibu Lagoon or something. It was definitely Malibu Lagoon. And it was my birthday, and it was a beautiful sunny day, but not too hot. And I was doing some journaling, but later did I find out that that's actually, you call it scripting, but it's really just journaling with intention. I had a little notebook with me. And I wrote down things that I wanted for the year ahead, right? Things that I was dreaming about, things that I was thinking about. And a lot of it had to do with my YouTube career. I didn't even have a YouTube at that point. I wrote that I wanted 1 million followers. And at this point, I had only had a TikTok. I didn't have anything else really. My Instagram was pretty low at this point. I didn't really have that many followers either. But I wrote down, like, I want 1 million followers. And at this point, I really was thinking about Instagram because I was like, wow, wouldn't that be so cool if I had 1 million followers on Instagram? So that was my intention. I wrote this down. I was like, yeah, like, 1 million followers, that'd be really nice, right? 3 or 4 months after that, that's when my YouTube blew up and I had 1 million in about 3 months time. So the timeline of that, of those sequence of events, right? August, I think it was either 22 or 23, but let's say 2022. August of that year, going into October of that year. That's when my YouTube started blowing up. And I didn't even think that my YouTube was gonna even be a thing. I was so intimidated by the idea of YouTube. When I made my channel, it was just a backup TikTok account. I thought, oh, maybe if TikTok goes away, because there were several threats of TikTok going away, I just took my backlog of videos and uploaded it to YouTube. They got no views or anything. I had 60 subscribers, and those were mostly family and friends when I made the account. And I thought, even if no one's really gonna see this on YouTube, it's fine, whatever. And then it's out of nowhere, it started blowing up. January of that year, I had 1 million. So when I found that notebook, only then did I realize, there's my little notebook. Only then did I realize that I created this reality where I have 1 million subscribers. It blew my mind because I didn't realize I was manifesting that reality. I just thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice to have 1 million subscribers or followers? I was not specific about it at all. And I imagined what it would be like to have 1 million followers, and then I never thought about it again. And then it happened on its own time, right? What I learned from this is that there was no forcing anything. When I got these followers, I wasn't like being forceful about it. I just said, this is something that I desire. This is something I want to experience. And it was pleasant to think about. It didn't stress me out. And then I let it go. I did not need 1 million followers in my life. I did not need that thing. I didn't even care about YouTube at that point. I didn't even think that I was gonna be a big YouTuber. I really did not believe that. In fact, I had so many weird ideas about YouTube that you need to have, you need to be this amazing, organized vlogging creator. I thought you had to be like a vlogger or like someone who made real films. But it worked out a certain way, and this is kind of how it happened. It was a mixture of intention and good luck and timing and everything. The point is, I wasn't trying to control that at all. I wasn't trying to control any of that. I was just doing my art, doing my animation, and doing what I did best. And the result was that it turned into this big YouTube thing. And now there's 2 million of you watching me, and that's so crazy. If you're still here and you're listening to this, I really appreciate you being here. This is like a little manifestation masterclass. So I'm also gonna talk about what persist means. So if for some reason I didn't get what I wanted, if I didn't get my desire or whatever, you can mope around like this. Oh no, I didn't get it. It doesn't work. No. You don't give up on ourselves here, right? If you're saying something doesn't work, you are now in the awareness of something's not working. Everything is what you say. So if you're saying, I have 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and then you don't see that, and then 5 minutes later, you keep checking your channel, you keep checking your number, and it's not 1 million, it's literally the opposite of what you're saying. And then you're like, well, this doesn't work because I said that I had 1 million subscribers, and then my subscriber count is still 500. This doesn't work. It's because you're not having faith in your own manifestation, your own creation, and your own ideas, and you're not believing in yourself that there is a reality where you have 1 million subscribers. Oh, I just smudged everywhere. Looks kind of cool though. Check that out. But you are not believing in yourself. Persisting isn't forcing the desire. It's not forcing outcomes. You're not pushing a rock up a hill, right? You're not pushing your goals up a hill. You're not doing that. People think that's what persisting means, And if you do that, that's miserable. Stop forcing shit. Stop forcing things. You don't have to force anything. It's all your state of being. And if you're saying this doesn't work, and then you're trying to do all this other shit, that's what you're gonna get back. So having faith in your manifestation, and you're not doing anything. You're thinking certain things, right? You're just chilling. You're not trying to force anything. You're placing your awareness on what you want to experience, on the thoughts that you want to experience. So the next time you find yourself thinking about mangoes, you're probably going to see mangoes. The next time you think about, that friend from high school that you haven't talked to in a while, they'll probably message you, things like that. But it's whatever you place your awareness on. That's all it is. Like a little eyeball or something. Yeah, it's kind of weird looking. All manifestation is not giving up on yourself. It is not giving up on yourself. Whoops. is not giving up on yourself no matter what. Even in the midst of a great loss, even when things seem really shitty, even when things seem horrible, nothing is ever lost. You still get to be you. You still get to walk around as you, and you have every possibility ahead of you. So what manifestation is it your belief in yourself, who you think you are, who you want to be, and then being that version of yourself that is the version you want to be. I don't know if that sentence made any sense. It's just believing in who you are. You get to choose every single day who you want to be. And there is only now. There is only ever now. It is always now. Like, name a time where it's not now. It was now a few seconds ago, and now it's now, right now. It is always now. So in any now moment, you get to choose, you get to select who you want to be. It's not about what's out there or like million subscribers or your dream job or whatever, all this stuff. It's not about the stuff. It's about how you feel about yourself on this journey we call life. And it's about trusting the way that things unfold and just selecting that these things are in your favor. Even when it feels really bad, even when it feels like there's no hope ahead of you, you still get to be you. You still get to believe in yourself, and you still get to say to yourself, no, I am this person. No, it is this way. No, I'm this person. No, I am amazing. No, this can't tell me who I am. In conclusion, you get to define what everything means to you. Even this video. It will always lead right back to you, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this really strange and different video of mine. I'm gonna keep making these and see what happens, because this is for fun. I don't even care if I get millions of views on this or if it gets 10 views. I don't care. And that is the power of manifestation. It is not caring about outcomes. It is just living your life and doing what you want to do and not caring if people like it or not. Because guess what? The only opinion that matters is yours. If you're into this stuff, write a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, have a good one.